No sooner than the era of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi drew to a close, with their unprecedented hold on the Ballon d'Or now finally released, than a new duopoly appears to have emerged, set to dominate football for years to come. But is it the same? Can Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe really be the new Messi and Ronaldo? First, there are some easy comparisons to make. Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe are similar ages, play similar roles, and in comparable positions. In different ways, they also each play for a European super club, and so while domestic confrontations between the two have been and will continue to be rare, for the time being at least, they can expect to face each other semi-regularly in the Champions League. As their careers to this point have demonstrated, they are both volume scorers too, and are both blessed with rare abilities. Mbappe is a once-in-a-generation combination of skill, speed and goal-scoring flair, while Haaland is a highly unusual athlete who can score in any conceivable way. Both will occupy the Ballon d'Or shortlists for much of the next decade, and so far, that's a very Messi and Ronaldo trait. To appreciate the differences though, it's worth thinking back to a time before either existed, and an era when European and world football had an entirely different set of expected norms. And the Ballon d'Or is quite a good way of charting those differences. You see, with Ronaldo's second place finish to Kaká, 2007 was the first time either he or Messi finished in one of the top 3 places. Across the 17 previous awards, only one player had won more than once, and that was original Ronaldo. And even his 2 Ballon d'Ors were 5 years apart, and served to make the point that, while there were exceptions, becoming the best player in the world was something which happened after an especially perfect 12 months and an alignment of the stars. Players in European football were always rising and falling, with long periods of sustained superiority presumed impossible. In the years since, Messi and Ronaldo have proved that to be entirely false. Between the two of them, they would dominate the Ballon d'Or for the next 10 years, and not until 2018 would a different player collect the award. The nature of that superiority was different too. Previously, recognising the best player in the world was more of a subjective process. World Cups, league titles and goals scored mattered, but voting was also apparently mood-based. Luis Figo in 2000, Michael Owen in 2001, Pavel Nedved in 2003 were, for example, awards given with medals and measurables in mind, but also with a more conceptual idea of what made someone the best footballer in the world. Messi and Ronaldo have changed that forever. One of the most compelling statistics about them is that of the list of top 10 scoring seasons in Spanish Primera Division history, between them they have authored 7, and all of the top 6. Comparing Champions League seasons with those of the past is a flawed comparison, mainly because of the tournament's reformatting, but there too, either Messi, Ronaldo or a combination of both were top scorer every season for 12 years. Neymar tied the duo with his 10 goals in 2015, but that only serves to accentuate the achievement. Despite all his talent and the strength of the team behind him, a player of Neymar's calibre was only able to keep the pace once. Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe certainly have the ability to match those achievements, but that's less important. What matters, in this instance at least, is the value of redefining what was previously thought possible, as opposed to simply matching it. Roger Bannister was the first person to run a 4-minute mile, but few people will be able to recall who did it second, despite the accomplishment being of equal worth. And so, while Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland could match that and could reach the same kind of level, it seems impossible that such an act would carry such significance or produce an equivalent spectacle. And that's just problem 1. Problem 2 lies beyond the by the numbers of the Messi-Ronaldo rivalry and within its deeper themes. The other great advantage they hold over Haaland and Mbappe, and everyone who follows, is that their excellence was achieved within the cauldron of one of football's great rivalries. And again, conveniently, at a time when Barcelona and Real Madrid were at one of the most acrimonious and competitive points in their joint history. It created layers in the Messi-Ronaldo rivalry that otherwise wouldn't have existed. For much of their careers, they were in direct opposition, on the same pitch at least twice a year, and those very literal contests manufactured and maintained a rivalry which otherwise would probably have been more of a media construct. A more abstract observation might also be that during that period, they each adopted the characteristics of the teams they played for. Messi because of his size and technical qualities, and because he was raised in La Masia. Ronaldo in a more subtle way, with his playing style, self-image and orientation towards the Champions League being more in keeping with Real Madrid's personality as a club. The effect was a referendum of sorts. The reason Messi versus Ronaldo is such a divisive topic, and so many supporters can't just enjoy both for what they are, is because they apparently represent such different aspects of football, both on the pitch and away from it. By a convenient quirk, Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe will compete for most of their careers side by side. They may even break records and collect the equivalent tonnage of silverware, all the while producing the kind of highlights that remain in the mind's eye in perpetuity. Nevertheless, to hope for and expect a repeat of the Messi-Ronaldo rivalry is to ignore just how rare its context actually was. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic brings you the best sports journalism in the world in a personalised experience, connecting you with the stories and teams that you care about the most. There's coverage of 13 sports, plus direct access to world-class journalists through live Q&As, discussions and podcasts. And you can try it now for free for 30 days by clicking the link in the description.